Hi guys, Scatlink here. Welcome to my modding showcasing sub-series, Hats Off to You, a series of which we try out community-created hats, costumes, functions, singular levels, full chapters, or time rifts created by the Hat in Time fan community via the Steam Workshop. This will also include any challenge roads of which will have their own video dedicated to earning ourselves a trophy, of which would otherwise be permanently missed. Hi guys, welcome back. Scatlink here, and we are off for more of a Hat in Time Summer 2025 live event. This is part 13 overall, and we're finishing this today. Only 3 bosses that have been newly added remain, along with other bosses, and 3 Rift mods that we have showcased before in previous live events have yet to have their first appearance here. However, other than these exceptions, every other mod on these next 12, yes you heard me, 12 event map levels are repeats from previous event map levels. That is a lot of wasted time replaying what we've already done up to this point, just to unlock more event map levels. A boss mod is programmed to appear every 3 event map levels, and every mod in a group is to have its first appearance before repeating like the majority I will be skipping, thanks to a string of code that I've been provided with. Before I start this proper, I want to give some special thanks to those who made all this possible. JDWMGB for the Death Wish cheat commands to help skip repeat Death Wishes within the Summer Live event maps that you can see on screen right here, that you input via the dev console. The smaller of the 2 codes I save for bosses of what I have faced before in past live events. The bigger code skips all event death wishes on the current map except for bosses, which is perfect. This is what I'll also be using to get my project/let's play save file up to scratch so it matches my personal/practice save file. For this is what I did in my personal/practice save file to get to this point, which also helped with planning. Epic Yoshi Master that created the quality of life or more like quality for devs, Console Commands Plus mod. This allows for skipped death wishes to be saved and kept. Keep in mind I only know of and have been provided these specific codes for the sole purpose of skipping repeats of mods that I have already covered in the interest of time. I do not use these to outright cheat. Jonas Karlov, aka MekuCube, the director of Gears for Breakfast and by extension Hat in Time itself, for fixing the early mod repeating issues from event map level 2 and onwards, and informing me to play on the experimental build at the time up until July 4th so I could continue planning ahead of time by about a week. I would not have been able to do this in time otherwise, as we are in fact near the end of July as I am recording and editing this very video. Star Shoals for informing me of every boss mod appearing on every 3rd event map level, which equals to every boss's first appearance, requiring us to reach event map level 33 to experience every featured mod for the first time within this live event. Good lord, that is a backwards long jump worth of distance from event map level 8 that we ended up in 2024. At least I can just play any changes going forwards, a perfect example of why I do not like this system. But now that it's done, I guess this is my consolation prize, saving me another grind in the future. And finally, Yarn366 for not only going in depth with what changes the modifier Roulette had, like removed and no longer tagged mod badges, which in turn helped them make a post-event mod collection of literally everything that was included regardless if it was removed or not, due to inconsistencies of what I was experiencing due to previously installed mods that weren't appearing for them, but for me, most notably being my glide badge that kept getting rolled and nothing else. Do remember that if a mod is chosen or is rolled in the modifier roulette that you do not have, it should install it for that play session. But for these particular ones that I talked about earlier in the event, these particular ones that you have to buy from the badge seller don't actually appear in the roulette unless you already have them installed. But they also did the code research into how many of the featured mod levels fall into which set of official Death Wish groups. This is why we bump into repeats constantly, as some groups are smaller than others. With all of that mentioned, I will now be skipping all repeats from previous event map levels going forward, But I will mention what type or group of official Death Wish stamps a slot on the map is, if it is locking a mod that I have yet to have its first appearance of within this event. If a first appearance is immediately unlocked at the start, I'll just go straight for it. Boss event Death Wish mods are locked behind 5 stamps, just so you know in advance, as I will just talk about them, since by skipping all repeats we will most certainly have the stamps to take them on. Because, to reiterate, all we have left are 3 Rift Theme mods and 2 boss mods that have yet to have their first appearance in this event, with 3 newly added mods also being bosses we have yet to face at all that are newly added for this summer event. Versus Yourself by Sib39, a battle with someone quite familiar. I'm pretty sure that screenshot's actually taken from when you go through the Rumby factory, it's from one of those pages. This fight is quite difficult to not recommend it for new players. Think of it as Moustache Girl Light. If you couldn't tell by what I have equipped right now, I'm actually on my project file for this. Just to reiterate, other than what you're seeing right now, map fast-forwarding is going to be done on my personal file because they're already cleared. But when it comes to actually playing the levels, I will be going back to this project file that we have done everything on thus far. I've even gone back through the previous levels to collect what we didn't have before, like the yarn in Crystal Cove, just so that you are 100% on knowing that everything is still being done on the project file. I'm just using my practice file to speed up editing. As you've seen from the thumbnail, this is mainly all about bosses. It is a boss rush, but not in the way that you think. Without further ado, let's begin. Right, versus myself, because, I mean, I have to look at myself and say, I need to make things easier for myself, so what am I going to roll? Not that one. That will make things a bit too insane. That's perfect! What did I say about making things easier for myself? We have the advantage. Although, they obviously have a different moveset to what we do. And of course, if there's a splash screen from the PC mailroom that I got the description of the mod from, I will put that in instead of the usual Bo Kids Beach Bash. Alright, let's tussle! Just making sure it's equipped. It's you? Alright, it begins! And this doesn't have any Death Wish assigned to it as well. I got cheated out of that. So yeah, you can see it's kind of like a Moustache Girl Light, effectively. It just doesn't have this... It's basically a harder first phase before you go into the actual whole thing. Well, I see that fancy little jumps that you made there. Aha! There we go. Of course, if you want some extra reaction time, time stop might actually be useful. Would make sense for, you know, being a hat in time. You're facing a hat kid with time-related powers. This is like if you were evil. Which I guess makes sense. At least you can tell who's who. Because of my strange get-up that we've got going on right now. I will stick with this get-up for the remainder, so you know for a fact that this is on my personal file. Because I don't have the project file. Because I don't actually have this boiler suit unlocked, excuse me, on my personal file. Alright, we're getting the timepieces now, making the splits, but that actually makes it easier for us to hear. Yeah, so it's kind of transitioned into part 2, like when it gets all rainbowy and stuff, but not without the rainbow, when it won't involve any of the extra stuff that Moustache Girl would actually have. Unfortunately, the camera doesn't lock on to them, so that's a little bit annoying. We're going to see that a lot. That didn't count, excuse me. I guess we just got to keep pummeling her, bouncing off. It looks like we're not hitting her, but we are technically, but not dealing damage. You just got to keep on doing it until you learn that final hit. Land that final hit. So I'm just trying to keep an eye on where all of the shockwaves and projectiles are, so I don't get hit erroneously. That was close. That was the one timepiece as well. There we go! So I took some damage at the beginning there. Ironically enough, I found that the more difficult part when it's she's just bouncing all over the place, but when she's kind of teleporting in doing attacks, something exploded. Well, time to do that again out of this menu. So get my mod timepiece / mod rift token. Locked behind a 2050 pond repeat and a 2040 power pond repeat, for me it was both the resort and skyline stations respectively, is the first appearance of Simply Aesthetic for this live event, at least it is for me. This mod has had history in the summer live events. It had its first appearance in Challenge Road 28, but replaced the Rift of the Rising Sun in summer of 2024, which had its own first appearance in summer of 2023. The reason for this replacement in both collectibles and Death Wish stamps, that being the same stamp requirements and only one mod timepiece, so the totals don't change here, is that the Rift of the Rising Sun and their creator are no longer on Steam. I'm not sure what happened, but that's the reason for this change. Check out part 4 of summer 2023 for the Rift of the Rising Sun, or check out Challenge Road 28 to see Simply Aesthetic in full. As mentioned, they both have the exact same stamps. They're not two separate Death Wishes worth of stamps, it's literally a level replacement. The rest of event map levels 21 and 22 are full of repeats, but locked behind a 2050 pond repeat and a 2-4 checkpoint repeat, for me it was Spooky Tower Hero and Chain Mountain Springs, the twin mountains so to speak, is the first appearance of the Casino Rift. That doesn't have the summer tag for summer 2025 but is still included. It was first added for summer 2024, but it first featured in Challenge Road 9, so please check that out to see this rift in full. Level 23 is nothing but repeats, but level 24 is a multiple of 3, which means the boss mod is here. We need stamps, so let me first cover this event's first appearance of Altocubulus, I think that's how you pronounce it, that was first added in summer of 2024, part 8. Unlocked after playing a 2040 Power Pond repeat, for me it was the Marv Metro, which gives us what we need to access the first appearance of the Horseless Headless Horseman for summer 2025, first added in summer 2024, first showcased in Challenge Road 36. You can see how this is a mouthful. It is a boss fight that we have covered before in the past, so where are the last two newly added mods? Unfortunately, we are all out of mods that are not grouped as bosses, so we literally skipped the entirety of event map levels 25, 26, and 27, since they are all repeats from past event map levels. Only bosses remain at this point, so every third map level is what we need. So with the map of stamps, we can easily unlock the level 27 boss, at least for me, Monoculus from the summer 2024 live event. In my part 8, this boss's music isn't YouTube monetization friendly, so I am going to be glossing it over here, but this does mean that event map levels 30 and 33 have my last remaining mods that I have yet to first experience, or in general have their first appearance for this live event, which are also the only last newly added that I have yet to showcase, which are also the last newly added mods for this live event, and that I have yet to showcase. And thanks to these command codes, we skip everything up until level 33 except for these bosses. And thanks to these command codes, we now not have but a repeat, but a triple rematch against the Snatcher ×3. Back on the project file, because as I said, I wanted to get to this map so I can at least show that I've unlocked it, and that it hasn't actually been played yet. That's the idea. The triple Snatcher. Excuse me? Maybe I am going mad. Triple Snatcher by Super Inklink. Funny that. Snatcher decided enough was enough, and decided to partake in the forbidden art of Shadow Clone Jutsu. Now he thinks he can do anything, but can Hat Kid stand up to this ghostly gang? This mod was heavily inspired by the Deltarune Triple Jevil mod, and it even includes music to boot. So that's chapter 1, by the way, so that's not really spoilers, just so you know, because obviously at the time of recording this, chapters 3 and 4 are now purchasable, so that's kind of a thing. The mod was heavily inspired by the mod, and even includes the music to boot. It comes with 3 Death Wishes. Pick your favourite flavour of Snatcher, normal, quality time, EX, or Ultra. Don't worry, you get so much health in the fights that it's not completely impossible, but that's nice. Basically, it gives you the regen that you normally have against Moustache Girl. Slight dizziness warning. The world is revolving after all. The Snatcher just can't leave me be, can he? He's stalling and preventing me from getting to the end because there's 3 death wishes that are not included in the event, but I'm going to do them. That's why there's a +3 in the title. It's not because there's triple Snatcher, but there's also 3 rounds of the damn thing. It's 3 upon 3. And we get critical hit. Let's go. Which is hilarious because, as I just showed, that's what I got on my practice file, which is hilarious. And again, maybe I'm going doolally because it just doesn't want to end. This Snatchy boy's going down thrice. Right, well, at least he's blue all over the place, and shockwaves are already happening. So basically, there's going to be 3 times the amount of usual attacks, but they are the usual attacks. So you're just fighting the Snatcher 3 times at the same time. Thankfully, hitting any of them will cancel all attacks, unlike the bloody Dweller Outhouse, where attacking him does buggering nothing, so you can still get hit. But yeah, when one is popping up and the other is still attacking in the middle, you can just hit the one that's available. And as you can see, I do not have my regenerative badge on. It is sitting there, not equipped. And yet we are sparkling with regenerative health. And that happens in the Death Wishes as well. So it's fair because it knows, the creator knew it was going to be bullet hell. And I just got a ton of health just by attacking him there. You basically get a full heal every time you land a hit. That does reduce in the included Death Wishes, but for the official event Death Wish, it's just like playing it outside of the event. You just won't get the mod timepiece / mod rift token. So, yeah, I'm going to have to face him a 4th time. Lucky me. It never ends with this Snatchy boy, does it? And it's funny as well, because like a lot of people like kind of made him akin to Sans in a way with having his music play, Megalovania. So having Jevil play when there's even more of him actually makes total sense. Because a lot of people kind of make those comparisons in terms of the battle. Okay, I'm just getting hit at the moment because I'm not really able to, there we go, reach one of them and smack him. It's fine. Plus, patterns may overlap, so you're going to take damage. I tried to jump there. Well, unfortunately, that attack doesn't disappear. But all the shockwaves do. And projectiles, which is very nice. Right, I'm not entirely too sure if I've been attacking the same one over and over, but when you start taking them down, it becomes more manageable. So, look at that. The entire floor was just fountains of darkness and energy there. What was I supposed to do? I'm actually going to die if I don't let the regen start healing me. Sorry, I'm just concentrating because the screen is shaking uncontrollably. None of them are coming out to be attacked. Okay, now there's one. Yep, all the shockwaves disappeared. Very nice. This dude's popping out. I'll smack him. I couldn't get out of that one. And I'm not getting any frame stuttering going on at the moment. It is running buttery smooth, which is actually kind of surprising, considering. Even the hazard badge makes my frame rate drop every so often, because it just spawns all kinds of projector. Then again, I'm guessing it's because they're not actively loaded, because they're all from boss attacks, and if I'm in a normal level, that's not the case. So, everything in this level is mapped to the Snatcher for his attack, so they're all already in RAM, I guess. That might be what it is. Ah, well, there's one down! Only 8 more to go. Well, technically 9 if you count what we got. Well, actually, no, that'll be 10. Okay, another one's down, so they were both on their funnel here. Lovely stuff. Now it's just normal Snatcher. I've taken out your shadow clones. What are you going to do about it, matey boy? Be a dick, apparently. Well, he's no stranger to be doing that then, isn't he? You noodly nuisance. There we go. And of course, when he becomes Ultra or EX or whatever, his fountains of darkness that he launches, I couldn't hit him because I was inside him again. That was happening in the original battle. Well, it basically was the original battle at that point, but yeah, those fountains will make shockwaves. And I'm doing them all. Right, let me do that again for the token, and then let's check out the included, but not event-specific, Death Wishes. Okay, so fighting him outside of the event, Death Wish, doesn't play the World Revolving, but his original boss music, the contract has expired. Intriguing. Also, there was no splash screen. So, I mean, I know that the Death Wishes do, the ones included with the mod, but the actual mod doesn't have it. Doesn't have one. That is very interesting. Also, because I'm here, I might as well mention, as you can see by my badges on screen just for a second there in the corner, I don't have a critical hit badge. I swapped it back to my usual layout. I don't keep them equipped when I finish a mod in the event Death Wishes. Plus, when it comes to bosses, ironically enough, the critical hit badge doesn't do anything. Bosses just take a certain amount of hits to defeat it. They don't have HP per se, it's the amount of hits they need. So that's now that done. I will skip to level 33 after this, as you will see on my practice file, just for the sake of the map, to make it more smoother. But, before we do, the Snatcher's not done with us because he's tripled. And it's this collection, well, not that one, but it's this collection right here, these three. So, the Trio of Fools, which we need to do first. I think there's another line behind there, but you can't actually see. There is a remix there. That is the World Revolving.
Seems impossible, right? We'll just survive to get damage one of us. We're very generous with the health points when you land an attack.
You have to give me an excuse to do your voice, don't you? The Trio of Fools defeat the Snatcher 3 times, now with extra shockwaves. Do not use any hat abilities and do not let your health drop to 1. That may not be possible, and of course, as I said, these are not part of the event. These are mod included, they're not official, so all I need to do is beat it. I do not need to get all 3, but I will try for them. Hey, now there's a custom thumbnail. Interesting. Why does that not load when you load the base level? That wasn't even me cutting, that was just immediate. But you can see him, he's glowing. Right, so no hats. It'd be nice if I could actually just equip no hat, but if you equip no hat and accidentally use it to trip over, that still affects you. But now we've got the potions along with, as well as mentioned, when the dark waves come out of the ground, they will create shockwaves. Again though, attacking does in fact knock off, cancel all of the attacks going on, which is very nice. Except for obviously when he's doing that little spin thing. But potions are now appearing, we can actually toss them, so we've got more opportunities to attack ourselves, which is very nice. The regen is a little bit slower if you noticed. The amount of health points we get from hurting them is also slower, is also lessened, I mean. And I've already fallen to 1, that's fine. I will live with that. As long as we don't take too many hits at once that we actually die. And as long as we keep landing attacks, all the other attacks, other than the carousel, will dissipate. There's a potion there, and there is barely anywhere for me to land because they're all doing shockwaves. All 3 of them. That was a bit insane. I will refuse to use a hat, though, because I don't really need a hat for this. In fact, you normally don't have a hat during the normal battle anyway, so using your hats may be only useful if you're going to use the brewing hat, but you could just use projectile badge for your long range attacks instead anyway. I was trying to hit him before taking a hit there. I want to pick that up and toss. If it hits any one of them in the middle, that's perfect. Obviously, you don't want the blue potion homing in on one that's hopping around. Ones in the middle are actually... What is going on? I can't see a thing. They are all doing shockwaves again. Or the dark fountains. So you got all the particles from the dark fountains. I'm really going to have a very high bitrate for this video. Jesus Christ, you wouldn't be able to see a thing with YouTube's compression. And the fact that I will admit that I have lowered my bitrate over, like, recently, just for the sheer number of Hat in Time videos. I've already hit over... What's going on? Game? Well, this is new. Oh, whoa, we're in slow-mo. Wait, did I kill 2 at the same time? No, I didn't. Why did that take so long? Why was that a freaking Kingdom Hearts Matrix kill, but without the blur? I was just talking about blur as well. That was new. That's a glitch I've never bumped into before. That's interesting. At least it didn't completely break. I landed on the potion. It stopped me from moving. You know what? Oh, God. What's that? Ah, he moved. There we go. That'll do. Not using a hat, because we don't normally have a hat when we're fighting this guy. When he's on his own normally, he's beside himself, just like Tim Time Lord. I don't know what I'm saying. I cannot sing for beans, but when I have a tune in my head, you cannot help it. Okay, I'll salvage that. Right, I'm not entirely too sure what I'm trying to do at the moment. Just find a place to smack him. There we go. Okay, I didn't... Ow. Yeet! Got him. Ow. I don't think Projectile Badge or even Brewing Hat can hit him when he's in the middle. For a second I thought there was only one, because not much was happening there. Oh, perfect. I pressed attack, I wasn't swinging. I said perfect, and I still get damage because I don't attack. I forget they chase you down and hurt you. Yeah, so the regeneration really does help. If I was a bit more better on my dodging, I probably would have got all 3 stipulations in one go. Because I don't see myself dying at this point. Good, I hit the one in the middle, which is perfect. Because then I could smack the one next to me. But it's not a problem. I mean, I'm just doing it for the reward. Don't need to be perfect. Don't need a peace and tranquility. This is not an official one. This is included within the mod. It's not an official Death Wish made by devs for the mod, which is just beating the boss anyway, but you get what I mean. Eh! There we go! You're blue, Dabba-dee. So yeah, probably could have had not letting my health drop to 1, but it didn't happen, unfortunately. Not a problem. We now have a remix, and the other 2 Death Wishes available. There we go. Yep, and those 2 are unlocked, but they require 70 and 75. It's a good thing that it detects your game's main stamps to actually unlock these, because that's how they used to feature before being put on their own map. So thankfully that still carries over, because we do have all the built-in ones from the game. True or false, reward is... Do I even need to play it? We're going to be hearing it a lot more, the world revolving. Replaces Moustache Girl EX's music, though, for that, instead of the Snatchers. But I guess because you already hear it here, it's kind of redundant. Anyways... Quality Triathalon of Snatchers. So you can tell why I've called this episode Every Boss at Once, plus 3 and I. We've had myself. Technically, we're doing the title backwards, because we're just doing nothing but Snatcher. His face is everywhere.
You know your little health regeneration? It's still here, but it will only heal you every 30 seconds. Good luck surviving until then.
Yeah, so you still have the regeneration, but obviously it's survival, so you just got to last a certain amount of time. Let's go, I guess, and see how long I can survive for. Same thumbnail and everything, it just makes sense. Which I think I said last time as well. I'm repeating myself on the Thrice as well. Get ready for triple snatch. Alright, how long can I last for? I can actually use my hats this time, so if it gets a bit dicey, I might actually want to use Ice Hat. Does Time Stop Hats slow down the timer? It does. Oh, well, that's a great start, isn't it? Okay, I am terrible. I probably won't actually survive if healing is every 30 seconds. Because I can't attack, because notice they're not blue this time. So they only paint themselves blue if you're intended to attack them. Which is kind of interesting that you don't have to do that phase yourself. But that would be annoying if you kept on hitting the other two and not the one you needed to. Yeah, I think I might just skip this one. There's no reward for this. And we've still got another 2 rounds against this guy. I've already had my additional for the token. So I'm just going to move on. Alright, so that didn't work out too well. But we're still here. So let's have a look at this one. Fool me, Thrice? You're officially that guy, okay? You know the one. He's like the John Marnie. My dad knows him. You know, John Tron. But he's in the game. 3 Ultra Snatchers. First we went EX, now we're on the more tougher ones.
Oh, and don't worry, kiddo. We were the strength for that before, but some kind of god toned us down.
Tim? Let's give it a go! And just for your own information, the Trio All Falls extra stipulations is not using any hats with one-hit hero. Just like what you would expect for the, well, any boss rematches, including this one. So again, I'll try not to use any of my hats, but I'm not using one-hit hero. Screw that noise. That's basically impossible. It also negates the regeneration, which, the reason why it gives you the regeneration, and yes, it is Snatcher EX times 3, because now he has the buzzsaws pop out when he pops out of the ground as well, on top of everything else that you already had as Snatcher EX. So, again, attacks are the same as before with Ultra Snatcher, but you also have the Mafia shockwaves from Ultra Charge, the studio lights, and again, it's times freaking 3. You want to hit one-hit hero this? You insane? Yeah, that ain't happening. I'm getting hit almost every couple of seconds. I'm trying to dodge, but there's just nowhere for me to go. How are you supposed to one-hit hero this? Could be like Neo from the Matrix and do it perfect. Times 3. With one unlucky hit, and that's it. Yeah, I'm not that much of a masochist, you can screw it off. But it's funny as well, because like these are just additional challenges that normally come with the Snatcher anyway, and yet the only one that really has a reward is the first one to unlock the rest anyway. So this is just additional suffering for no reason, but can I do it? Can I prevail? I won't use my hat, like I said. My health is not looking too good, but if I can keep landing multiple hits, that's more health. But again, the heart ponds have been reduced, and the regeneration is also slightly slower. In fact, if I could have survived, like, what, maybe one more second on that one attempt of quality time of Snatcher, I could have got one extra hit. Wow, I got intercepted on that lunge. After I made a hit, by the way, my god! Yeah, this video is going to be huge in memory. Still hardly any frame drops. This is ridiculous, man. He's sitting right there. I just need to smack him. There we go. Any attempt to actually give him a hit, as long as you're not using... I'm just going to say don't do the one-hit hero. What's the point? You are provided regeneration. Why would you negate that? I'm down to one hit. Well, I was down to one hit. Thankfully, that is not one of the stipulations. Holy shit! Where do I jump? It's still going! The whole floor is just pain. It's still going. It's still going! Finally, it's let up just a teensy bit. My god! There was literally nowhere for me to go. That one-hit hero would be absolutely impossible. I don't see it happening. For a good 10 seconds, there was nowhere for me to go. It was just constant damage. By the way, this is without assist mode, where it gives you double the max health. Yeah, pick that up and toss it. It missed! Toss it! It hit one. I got health. Unfortunately, that does get rid of the other blue potions, so I can't rely on that. They're both sitting there, and I'm not going to make either one of them. Oh, that sucks. That works. Thankfully, the potions do flies even when you get hit, and everything stops for a moment to be like, ah, you got hit like in Mario. Well, only you stop, really, but at least it gives you a bit of a breather to see where you're going after the fact. Oh, it's happening again! Oh, like, I'm just looking underneath myself to see where I could potentially land to continue jumping. Because just touch it, keep staying on the floor is just not possible. Alright, well, there's one down. Good news. So that's slightly less crazy. I'm surprised the music isn't, like, warped and sped up. Like, can I smack you, please? It didn't count when I swung the first time. I was inside his noodly body again, which I absolutely despise, because you wouldn't want to be inside him for any reason, and it's actually a hindrance for your own attacking. Right. One of them should be going down in the next, maybe 2 hits? Not like I'm keeping track, because no bloody way. There's no way to tell any of the 3 apart. They're literally duplicates. Or triplicates, shall I say. That actually hit me in midair to the point that it knocked me on my bottom. I could not move. I had extra recoil. Alright, one of them's dead. Maybe there's only 1 hit remaining. Oh, it was the studio lights. That's what's knocking me on my bottom. Now I can actually see what the heck is going on. Which is how Ultra Snatcher is normally. And even then, when those things go boom, it's ridiculous. I've got a potion I couldn't toss. I tossed it in there when he wasn't available, so I can't get it out there. That's annoying. Alright, pop over here, you. I'm smacking you. Eh! Get out of it! Alright, we've got 2 more fights with that guy on event map level 33. Let me pop back over to my personal practice file for the map. And, let's finish this. 2 stamps for me. Ha 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 ha. I don't get anything for that, do I? Nah. Oh, don't let your health drop to 1. I thought it was 1-hit hero. Never mind. It is the same as the Trio of Fools, the initial one. But yeah, good luck not trying to have your health at 1 with all that going on. At least I corrected myself on that before moving on. What am I saying? Go back to my practice file for the map. I don't need to. Just make the skips now, tidy up what I've done later, and then just go 1, 2, 3, because there's nothing new except for the finale. Every boss at once. Everyone is here other than Waluigi. But the Snatcher is still here. And yes, I do have to... Actually, no, I have to fight the Snatcher 3 more times. It never ends with the bloody dude. Because I've got to fight him in here as well to get the Mod Rift token. Every boss at once by JEB Rules. Jab Rules. Never ask for anything ever again. With a new Death Wish. So yes, event. This. So basically the same thing again. And then we got an improved version. Good lord. And I'm going in the Magician's outfit. Yes, I have swapped it because this is what we had. This is the poster mod Night of Wonders for Summer 2025. We're doing it in this costume. It's only fitting. God, Death Wishes make me go insane. But this is the final stamp for Summer 2025. Let's go. Please have mercy on me. That is not mercy, but the one below it is. It's just a freebie. That would kill me. Okay, this could be interesting. So, the conductor's grandkids are joining in on the fray. And technically they're a hindrance to me. And I have no choice unless I die once. But I can do this without dying. I did it on the first try. So, let's break it down. You see those 5 pedestals? Well, it's first of all starting off with Mafia Boss 3D again. Yes, the 3D version. I'm pretty sure it's made by the same person. So this was kind of used as the framework, I guess. I forgot to mention, he doesn't have the Mafia Ball. And he won't use it again here, because I guess that will be confusing for when Moustache Girl will show up. Once you do a certain amount of damage, he will jump to his pedestal in order to do the call for the Mafia and the sandbags. But once we do enough damage to make the Mafia boss move on to his next phase, that's when the game will also introduce the next boss. Or shall I say, bosses? Because remember, there was a choice between the two of them. And the death wishes within the core game, or at least in DLC 1, that's when they were included, they make you fight not only one, but both of them upgraded. You never fight both of them normally, in their normal difficulty. Technically you do here, because they just spawned in as soon as I said that, but obviously you got the Mafia boss to deal with as well. But it will only get more insane from here. Just home attack who you need to. It's still kind of funny to me, though, that the birds don't turn blue when they're vulnerable. And yet, you still have to make the Snatcher blue in order to damage. So, that's kind of weird, that the birds don't follow that. But Subcon was made first, the Dead Bird Shield was made afterwards, so that might have been a weird thing. Then again, it may not necessarily be well telegraphed that you can damage them, but thankfully our Luma does tell us, which, again, since Circus of Gravity Insanity was included, if you want to do those non-event death wishes to get that could help you out, and that's why I was keeping him equipped. And I've made him the Cyan Blue because he's like the one from the movie, the very suicidal one. It's kind of funny that way. I like how I've just been talking about other stuff while I've just been casually dodging attacks of all three of these bosses at once. But again, they're not the EX birds from Killing Two Birds. They are the normal ones, just fight both together, which is not in the main game or DLC 1, when Death Wishes were first introduced. So, I like this mod for that. However, once again, if we progress a few more phases, we'll have a few more instances. Actually, no, I don't think the Snatcher shows up in this, does he? No, he does. Because he shows up in the middle. We're technically on his battlefield. Wait, does he? Yeah, he does show up. Okay, yes. Because the Outhouse shows up as well. Because Moustache Girl doesn't actually go up those pedestals to jump out of the way or anything like that. But now, by the way, it's not just normal Snatcher, it's Snatcher EX, just to add to the carnage a little bit more. So that's fun, I guess. Yeah, the Outhouse kind of gets ignored here. I just continuously dodge its attacks because he can spit out heart bombs, which would be nice. Also, he's blue, so I should have went for the smack there. There's a lot of heart bombs here. I need to grab some of these because this is bad. I was actually going for the swing on the Mafia boss there, but I hit some of these instead. Unfortunately, the cherry bombs can't hit anybody else, including the Snatcher. Actually, isn't there not supposed to be like a blue potion for me to make him vulnerable? Or is he just not vulnerable at the moment? Are you kidding me? I was going for a homing attack initially. I need these heart bombs. Yeah, this is kind of the reason why I like the Outhouse, because it kind of like balances the difficulty. Okay, now the Snatcher is vulnerable for the rest of this battle, which is very nice. I would like to try and take the Mafia boss out, because he's just kind of spinning around being a nuisance. Keeping the Outhouse alive for the heart ponds is quite useful. So I'll get a couple of hits on him just to soften him up a little bit, but I don't want to take him out, because he's kind of your lifeline, ironically enough. Yeah, it's weird how the original Outhouse is your lifeline, while the Dweller Outhouse is jank incarnate. Which is funny, because I think in his Death Wish... Challenge Road debut, excuse me. I always get those mixed up, ignore me. You know what I mean. I don't think I actually had that much trouble. So it's very weird that I've been having a lot more trouble with him as of late. But then again, patches, updates, things have been changed. Maybe some things have become more janky. Yeah, I don't want to keep picking... I'm just getting rid of those cherry bombs by tossing them. Seems like the Snatcher is done attacking. I think I have to attack the Outhouse now, because everyone else has retreated. So... And unfortunately, some of these heart ponds will start disappearing. But I am at max health right now, so I can take my time here. Because everyone else has softened up enough that they've retreated until everyone's moved on to the next phase. Which I believe Moustache Girl will spawn in. So now... it's kind of calmed down a little bit. Hit him. There we go. It's kind of funny, actually, because the Outhouse does that attack, but none of the cages swinging, because they're not part, because they're part of the level, they're not loaded in. Alright, everyone's back in, including Moustache Girl now. I cannot see a thing, and I think I hit multiple bosses. I'm trying to... Oh, right, I remember, yes. Shit, don't hit me, please. Oh my god, I was trying to grab a heart pond. Yeah, when the Snatcher is in the middle of the level, he's invulnerable. You can't hit him, just like if he was in the middle of his stadium. where you, ironically enough, fight the outhouse. I was about to say the owl house then. I correct myself. I cannot see what I'm doing. Yeah, this is where it gets a bit insane. You're just gonna have to hit wherever I can. Get these harpoons! Ugh! I can't focus on everything at once. This is where it gets a bit insane. I think the bosses are starting to hurt each other. Because things are happening and I'm not attacking. Alright, I just hit the Snatcher with a potion there and hit the conductor at the same time. And I just realised I haven't been playing with the Babby badge. Because that's supposed to be equipped. I've just realised it. I'll put it on now. It is going to mess with my movement, but, yeah, I'm committed at this point. Smack that. Get out of there. I think I might have just killed myself, ironically enough. Thankfully, I can vault on the side there, because I wanted that, hop on, toss that. I can't! I actually cannot... Oh! Okay, I just realised I equipped it at the right time, actually, because it looks like I cannot pick up... Oh, wait, is this now impossible? Did I just screw myself? I've just screwed myself. I can't equip this now, can I? No, I can't. I can't pick up cherry. You know what? I'll just have to... Okay, I equipped it. Oh, shit, he killed himself. Okay, you know what? We'll stick with it. You know why? Oh, God, everyone's dying, and it's not even me. I guess I'll just let everybody do whatever. Oh, and I think I've got regeneration because Moustache Girl's in the fray. Right, what I was trying to say before all that carnage happened where the bosses started killing each other is that, well, I guess friendly fire is a thing. Okay, you're dead. That works. Is that when you're carrying the babbies, you can't pick up the blue potion to make the Snatcher vulnerable, which would basically be a break. Because I equipped this, because it didn't auto-equip, after I threw one potion, we're okay, because I don't have to pick up cherry bombs for the outhouse, and he just killed himself anyway, so whatever. I just need to get some of these ponds. I'm going to the conductor. Here, I've got your babies. What are you going to do about it? Your grandkids, excuse me. Right, I would like to hit Moustache Girl because she's kind of causing the problems at the moment. I think the Snatcher... In fact, the Mafia boss is still alive. Land, please, so I can hit you. How are you... Oh, I just haven't been hitting him, I guess. Okay, how did you hit me from there, MU? That's just rude. This is just insane! Moustache Girl is down! And she was the late arrival as well. Mafia boss is still going. And ironically enough, the babies haven't been causing me as much issue because we're on a big stadium. Veering left and right is actually nice. Right, you're finally down, and now it's Snatchy Boy's time. Unfortunately, I can't hit him with these. I'm just going to have to wait until he goes around the place. There's so many potions I could hit him with, but because the babies are actually preventing me from doing that. Again, if that auto-equipped, I wouldn't be able to actually damage the Snatcher at all. Because I wouldn't have been able to make him blue. But now that he's blue, I just got to wait until he goes around the place. Unfortunately, I'm now dying. Alright, he's going around the place now. Let me grab this health. Get over there, get over there. Shit, I didn't kill him. Yeah, I want to jump every time those Ultra Charges come out. And I forget he shakes the ground every time he pops out now. Get over there, get over there, get over there! The babies! They were making it more difficult there. I can actually run toward him because there's nothing blocking me. And he doesn't have a hitbox. I can run right through him, so that's actually useful. Yeah, again, we're finishing off on the goddamn Snatcher. He's the final boss. Ah, fake. Come on, come out there, you nonce. I need to hit you. Start moving and let me hit you. I like how the owls are still kind of knocked out. Like, Moustache Girl doesn't, because that happens in a cutscene, but they're just there. Just knocked out. I tried to get out of there, I couldn't. Can you start hopping around, please? I'm actually going to die. The babies have killed me. Oh, how did I dodge that? He's hopping around. He's hopping around. Please say this is the last hit. Oh, come on! How is that not the last hit? I couldn't get out of there. I couldn't see what I was doing. The potions. There's so many potions. I can't pick them up. This has screwed me over. And because Moustache Girl's gone, I've got no regeneration either. He's hopping around. He's hopping around. Oh, come on! How are you not dead yet? I'm panicking now. I was doing so good, but that's because I didn't realise the badge was on. If I die, I will have to re-roll for the badge, because I won't be able to try again at this point. Because I can't equip it. Please hop around. Please hop around. No, not this. Not this. I need fine movement. I can't move. No! Oh my... Hop around, you douche! Why did I willingly equip this when I knew it? Okay, he's hopping around. He's hopping around. I'm going the wrong way. Get over there! Get over there! Get over there! No! Shit! I almost jumped into that. Oh no. Oh no. It's over. It's over. It's over. It's not over. I almost jumped into that one. My nerves. Oh no! Come on! I just said my nerves. I just said my goddamn nerves. Shit. That's not fair, man. That is just dumb. That badge actually makes that battle impossible because you can't pick up a blue potion. What an absolute upset. Why did I equip it? That makes it impossible. That, again, the Snatcher gets the last laugh. I swear to God. Take that crap off. And we got a goddamn re-roll. Shit. That is so annoying. No! And the last thing we need is yet more carnage on top of that. Seriously, man? I guess I re-roll again. Thankfully, I don't need to die again to rip up the contract again. So, I guess you can just milk the modifier roulette, but if it's impossible, I'm not doing it. There we go! Now we can actually... Right, I'm just going to get back to that. But you know what? No, you know what? I'm going to skip the harder versions of the boss. And I'm just going to do this. Alright, here we go. Snatcher's back in. Again, couldn't pick up the blue potions because of the bird. The babby badge. If... My god, I just got comboed like triple right there. That was terrible. But yeah, I wouldn't have been able to damage the Snatcher at all if... Are you kidding me? Are you actually kidding me? I just got here! Holy hell, really?
Behind the pretty corpse, huh? At least you got 2 out of 3 right.
Okay, thanks. The Snatcher's now talking down at me because I suck. What the flip? That's just not fair, man. Literally spitting at the mouth on that one. Wow. He landed right on me and sent me flying. I don't think I've seen that before. I'm not allowed to get back to where I am I? My god, this... The babby sabotaged me. The Snatcher's now mouthing off at me. And then they get a preemptive strike. Like, this is... I probably had 1 hit left on him. I'm so mad. Okay, we're back here again. Can I not fail this time and actually, you know, see if I can find a bloody potion to pick up? Instead of getting comboed straight as everybody loads in. It's so annoying. Yeah, I'm starting from this point because that's when almost everybody's here other than the Star Girl and Waluigi. Because we can't live that joke down, can we? Right, I'll smack you, why not? I want blue potions. What? Why did I equip the badge? I should have just been blissfully unaware that it wasn't active. But no, I was like, I'll activate it now because I noticed. Plus, it's the best time to do so. And because Snatcher would have been impossible otherwise. And he still gets, at this moment, the last laugh. Like, that's bloody annoying. Conductor was right there. I could have hit him. Get him in the mess of potions. I still haven't seen a blue potion I can actually toss yet. Oh, there it is. As soon as I say. If I'm allowed to toss it, there we go. Right. Now Snatchy's vulnerable. But back up to this point. The Star Girl hasn't spawned in yet. I cannot home attack this guy. What the heck? There we go. Like, the prompt doesn't show up for him. You just gotta get lucky. Ow. Ow. I'm trying to jump and dodge shit. And I'm getting comboed. How did that not hit me? And how did I not hit him either? I tried to toss that, it wouldn't let me. Ah! Come here, you. Ah, you bitch. There we go. Right. We're getting there. It's Conductor. And Outhouse. I almost said Outhouse again. Freaking Amity Blight on the brain. Ah. Okay, it's just you then. Get out of it. You're still hopping in. Just move on. Wow, I must have hit the Conductor so many times. Ah. Also, why do they give the Mafia boss so much freaking health? I guess to last the whole thing, but still. Alright, there she is. There's too many shockwaves, and I'm gonna die again. I didn't get healed after smacking her? What? God damn it, I gotta get back there again! Why did I do good on my first attempt? Okay, that time it didn't land on me, and voiding out... Hang on a minute. Oh, voiding out doesn't do damage! I could use that! But at the same time, why have I been failing when I did good on my first attempt when that was also self-sabotaged? That's so annoying. I'm not even benefiting from the critical hit badge. I'm not losing out on my fast hatter. And yet, for some reason, I'm just dying quicker. You know what? I'm getting sloppy because I just want to be done at this point. I'm so close, man. Oh, what happened there? Did I somehow land a hit there? It didn't look like I did. It just... It acted like I did. Did I land on the Mafia's head without realising? That's so weird. I think the game got confused, or there was some friendly fire going on once again. Finally. There. Oh, come on. Really? He teleported as it was about to hit. I was waiting forever for a bloody potion to show up. Oh, wait, no, I did get him. It didn't look like I did. I guess just making him blue makes him retreat for the first hit. Right, so I'm just going to smack you then, and are we good? Are we now back to where we need to be once again? Nope, the Conductor is once again deciding to go for some rounds. Solo. Why is always the Conductor going solo? I messed that up. It's fine. There we go. Right, we got some... Oh, for feck's sake, move on, mate! There we go! Good lord. About 4 times in a row I wanted to get moving. Right, we've got tons of hot-ons on the map. Snatcher is now vulnerable. I don't know what hit me from all that nonsense. The game is reacting to me getting hit longer than it normally does. It's not like it's dropping frames. I was just in that post-hit freeze a lot longer than I normally am. That was close. Alright. Pick that up. Toss it. I pressed B to toss it. And he moved. Of course he did. And I got slapped. Of course. And I'm getting juggled. I got a double hit. Triple hit. Things are happening. Why has this gotten harder? I'm not self-encumbered. And yet, somehow I've been doing worse. Yep, smack you, because I don't think we'll be getting a lot of hits off of you yet. Starskull's got the least amount of health. So we should probably just focus on her. How did I miss? Okay, how did I miss the Starskull and hit the conductor? It's like the conductor body blocked. And I did not hit. I did not mean to grab both of them. My throat's getting clogged as well. That does not help me. I was going for the Mafia boss, not for DJ Grooves. I killed the Mafia boss. That's actually a lot earlier than it normally happens. Toss that potion. I can't toss the potion immediately after picking it up. It's so weird. And it's annoying as well, because one potion hits him. All of the other potions disappear. You can't chain hits, even if you toss them all. It's so annoying. Can't pick that one up. Yeah, can I just get rid of you, please? Nope, that's not enough. I'll smack the outhouse. I shouldn't really. I should be leaving the outhouse to keep providing me health. But, again, when I had the baby, like, the Snatcher just was not coming out to play. He was just staying in the middle. But you're still around? I thought I took you out. At least I can toss the potions so that the Snatcher's actually taking damage. That was so annoying. Yeah, that attack kind of froze me in midair again. It's so weird. Well, what was I supposed to do there? I would have got slapped or hit by the shockwave. Oh, I got double hit! Let's go! Get out of it. And he's dead too. Alright. Keep the outhouse alive. I'm getting rid of the Snatcher. Because I'm not taking any more combo hits or getting screwed out again. Yeah, and that's a thing. Just like, just because there's so many enemies around, I don't believe the outhouse can do the big cherry bomb, because we didn't see that happen before we took him out. Before facing the Snatcher. Okay, this is the time. You son of a bitch. Where are you? In my blind spot. Cheeky. If I had the Byakugan. There we go, he's done! Now we can take out the outhouse. How do I keep missing him from close range like that? There we are, Snatcher. You don't get the final laugh. In fact, you don't even get the final showdown. I'm fighting a goddamn toilet, because that was a load of shit. Also, the cages have now spawned in. I'm guessing because all the enemy bosses are done. That's like his desperation move for this, I guess, if he's the last one standing. Because otherwise it probably would have shoved a lot of enemies into the pits, and that would have caused problems. Because he kept on dancing. Oh, he can do it if he's the last one standing. Okay, then. Because remember, we took him out and the Snatcher was the last one standing. So whoever's the last one standing tends to have one of their desperation moves, I guess. Which in this case was the giant cherry. And this. Because he just kept dancing and he was vulnerable, but nothing was happening. Oh, camera, please. The dead bird corpses are getting in the way of my camera. Wow, I really did leave you this time, didn't I? Yep, and you're doing this again. Yeah, because it can't do this if the Snatcher's in the way. And it would mess up the Mafia as well. There we bloody well go. Get out of it. I've got to do that again now for its bloody token. You know what? I will do that off screen. Because it's not like I need to show it off right now, because I'm saving spins for another episode, believe me. I want to get these videos out while the event's still going on. We can do spins whenever. And there we go. Summer 2025 is done. From level 8 to level 33 from last year. And most of those I had to cheat to get past, because it was just nothing but repeats from earlier on. So stupid. I hate that. I hate again, some groups are smaller than others, but even so, when it repeats, it tends to favour particular levels to repeat. I don't mind Beat Block Galaxy, because that's a short one. But when it's something like, funnily enough, like it was with last year, with Spooky Tower Hero, that is a long level. Even if you, in the level, like with, say, the Wing Cap, to skip it, it still takes a while. So, there's no easy way around it, really. Sometimes playing through a level is actually faster, but this was, again, before I had the codes, but again, I didn't look for codes, I didn't even know how to use the developer console, I was taught this by those that I've talked about at the start of this very video, because, what day is it right now? It is the 26th of July on recording this, and I've still got to edit these. I wouldn't have had the time, I just would not. This was way too packed, and it, like, almost double, tripled in size. Yes, most of the levels were in past challenge roads that I played, so I could just breeze past them that way, but at the same time, I still needed to add them to the total, still needed to do the research. It was in flux for the first week, but that was mainly it, the rest of the entire time, and because I was well, I had work, so that ate up into my free time. I had a couple of days breaks, so I didn't want to burn myself out, because this has been a very fast grind. And I know that we still have a particular, on modding, where is it? Yeah, it's new Death Wish mode. Commit murder, you just had to ask for it. I'm not doing that, because it took me a while to get through the main one. Fix the differing. Wow. But I'm guessing all of them are EX, or this is just the same bosses again, but with additional stipulations, where you just fight them again, they're all vanilla. But I've already had to basically do that 2.5 times already. And I'm not going to be able to beat them in chapter appearance. I was using the sprint hat a lot, especially to reach the Snatcher to smack him. Not using any of my hat abilities I could potentially get away with, but just beating it like we have done in the event would basically be doing that anyway. And there's no reward anyway, so yeah. That's it. Level 33. I mean, I'm going to click level up, just so that's locked in. But everything's repeats. There's nothing else for me to do. There's no point going further. In fact, hang on, deeper sea. Yeah, there's just no point. We've done everything. It's all repeats. This was the last newly added mod that did not have its first appearance until now. So there we go. If I were to play that level outside of the event Death Wishes in the mod menu, because I'll do that off screen, in between this and the next video, we will have 46 tokens. Well, I would have 46 tokens. But to just give you a lowdown of the totals, I'll also do that before we start spending the tokens in the next episode, because that, just like during summer 2023, I finished Battle Royale, there was a grind for the kills, so I would have had to do those outside of the event, which if you have it downloaded you can do anyway, which is what I did. They were still those parts, and I stuck them there because that was where they were appropriate, and it didn't mess with anything else with what I had done forward. But would you believe I still have a challenge road to do? That launched literally on the 7th of July, which is why I keep mixing up the 4th and the 7th. So I need to get on that, and then I can do the next part of spending all these tokens, at the very least, because I don't know when that's going to end. So that's my next priority, after I've edited these videos at the very least. So maybe I'll do the spins before the challenge road, I don't know, but I've got to at least practice it. That's a given. Because it's a free level one. And it, ironically enough, none of those levels are featured in the summer event. Although they may do next year if they add even more. But please don't. It's big enough already. Just make sure every map, every mod appears first time. Because going through repeats from past event map levels within the same event is just a pace killer. The modifier roulette may make things different, but at the same time, I just want to play something new. Or something that hasn't appeared yet. That's just my personal opinion. I've said this before. Said it last year. And again, I was ill last year. I'm just going on. So, yeah. I hope you enjoyed summer of 2025. That was a hell of a trip. And there were some fantastic mods this time round. Although some of them didn't feel like they belonged. Like, I get coldness, but When it's like, you know, a cooler like this with the Magic Ice Chest or the Mafia's Icebox, that makes sense. But when it's Cold Snap Canyon, that feels like more like an ice level, and this is labelled as the 6th live event because it was the 6th live event with massive additions and changes. The winter event hasn't changed for 2024. There was no changes. It was a repeat from 2023 when stuff got added to your Steam inventory, not on a per file basis, which is why it reset. But you also had mods to play, but it's only 3, and one of those ended up here, Queen Vanessa's boss fight. So that's just weird to me. So yeah, a couple of things different. I've given my credits at the start of this. That is insane. So as I said, I will go through the totals as well as spending all of our tokens in the next episode, because there's also one particular quality of life mod that I want to make mention that will be updated once the event is over. So after the 31st of July passes by and that mod is updated, we will have our true finale, although this was more of a finale, the true finale by spending all the tokens that we've collected throughout these newly added mods in the next one. See you guys then.